All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we are talking about something huge, maybe even a little rebellious. It's this idea I call the death of the performer. This is all about how you, yes you, can take back your real private life in a world that's constantly begging you to put it all on display.
You know that feeling, right? You're watching the most incredible sunset, or you're having this amazing, deep conversation with a friend, and what's the first thing you feel? It's not just joy, it's anxiety. It's this twitchy, anxious urge to grab your phone. That little voice in your head that says, if you don't post this, if no one else sees it, did it even really happen? Yeah, that feeling.
And that exact feeling is what we're going to unpack first. Welcome to The Constant Performance. We're going to talk about this weird shift that's happened, where we've stopped being the main character in our own lives and started being a performer for some invisible audience.
So what exactly do I mean by the performer? Well, think of it like this. It's the version of you that is always on stage. Every little decision, from the coffee you order to the vacation you take, starts to get filtered through this one lens. How will this look online? And before you know it, their reaction, the likes, the comments, starts to matter more than your actual experience. You've accidentally handed them the director's chair to your own life.
I mean, this quote just absolutely nails it. We have been so deeply conditioned to believe that an unwitnessed moment is a wasted moment. It's like it doesn't count. And that one single belief, that's the engine driving this entire performance culture, turning our real, authentic lives into just content.
But why? Why are we so okay with this? What's the deep, psychological hook that gets us? That is what we are diving into next, the psychology of display. We're about to pull back the curtain on the unconscious reasons we're all constantly auditioning for a sense of belonging. Okay, so to get this, we can look to the brilliant psychologist Carl Jung. He talked about something called the persona, which is basically the social mask we all wear to fit in, to be accepted. It's totally normal. But the digital age has taken that mask and kind of superglued it to our faces. It's not a flexible tool anymore, it's become this polished prison. And the real danger? We start to forget we're even wearing a mask at all.
And what this does is it creates this huge split inside of us. You've got the digital persona over here, perfectly edited, always happy, totally optimized for likes. And then there's the invisible self, the real you, the messy, complex, authentic you that doesn't perform. The bigger that gap between them gets, the more anxious and disconnected we start to feel.
And here is the absolute key. You need to understand this. Polishing that online persona isn't just you sharing your life. You are participating in what is basically a constant, unconscious audition for belonging. And you're doing it inside a system that is literally designed to make money from your insecurity, from your need to feel like you belong.
There's a name for this, It's called soft tyranny. It doesn't need physical chains to control us because it has something way more effective. Little hits of dopamine. Likes, notifications, comments. It feels good. It feels like connection. It keeps us hooked, keeps us performing, all while making us feel like we're totally in control.
Okay, so that all sounds kinda dark, I know. But listen, here's the good news. There is 100% a way out of this trap. And that brings us to our next section, reclaiming your private life. It is time to talk about the practical steps to take back ownership.
It really starts with 3 simple but totally rebellious steps. First, stop thinking in captions. You know what I mean. When you catch yourself narrating your own life for a future post, just stop and just live it. Second, and this is a big one, intentionally experience things without documenting them. Go for that hike, cook that amazing dinner, and leave the phone behind. This one is just for you. And when you do that, you're on your way to the final, most important step, cultivating what we call psychological ownership.
So what is psychological ownership? It's that deep, settled feeling that your life, your memories, your experiences, they belong to you, exclusively. They are not public property to be put on display for judgment. They're yours, and their value comes from that fact, not from the likes they can get.
And taking these steps, it's more than just a little digital detox. It is a quiet, powerful act of rebellion, which brings us to this idea I love, the rebellion of invisibility. This is not about hiding away from the world, no way. It is about the radical, powerful act of fully possessing yourself. And what's so cool is that science actually backs this up. Psychological studies show that people who keep a lot of their life private, the ones who aren't constantly broadcasting, tend to have higher levels of amazing traits like self-restraint, deep introspection, and emotional independence. Why? Because they're not looking for external validation. They're learning to validate themselves.
So let's just state this plainly. In a world that is screaming at you to be seen, to be loud, to constantly display every part of your life, the most radical, powerful, and courageous thing you can do is to choose invisibility. It's a statement. It says, "My worth is not up for debate."
And I really want you to let this one sink in. Your biggest moments of growth, your quietest personal wins, they don't need a single witness to be real. In fact, keeping them for yourself is often what makes them so powerful. It allows your identity to be formed from the inside out, not just performed for everyone else.
So, where does this all lead? What's the end game here? It leads to a life that's lived beyond the audience. It's about becoming the sovereign architect of your own mind, the one who decides what's important, what's valuable, what's real.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, it really boils down to this one last question. And I want you to really think about it. Who are you when the audience is gone? When there are no likes, no comments, no notifications, just you. The answer to that question? Well, that's where your real life is waiting for you.
So if any of this hit home today, maybe this final quote can be your new declaration. I choose the silence that commands respect. It's about choosing yourself. It's about deciding that your life is no longer an open audition. It's yours, and yours alone.